gonna talk to you about good user experience and how that affects your good services.
Yeah, thank you. And how
Thank
it's
you.
created. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. So, it's not afternoon yet, but hello everybody. Like said, my name is Olli-Mikael Vaittinen. I'm from Monkey Experience, which is a Helsinki-based mobile agency. And what we do is we create services, mobile and web, for different business areas. Mainly for the past year and a half, we've been working with corporate customers, medical areas, so medical, healthcare, etc. But I know that I promised to talk about how to create a great service and the whole concept of lean development and what's involved in this. But I thought about it and it would have taken a bit more than 30 minutes. So I took a small part of it, which is the user experience. So I'm pretty fond of these quotes, so bear with me. So Jonathan Ive, maybe some of you have heard of him. He's the main designer at Apple. Said that it's very easy to create something new, but it's not that easy to create something that the users are actually interested in. So I think that most of you have come to the conclusion that you have come up with a great idea, but when you actually want to produce that as a service or a product, it's not so easy. So what's the problem actually? The problem is that most of our customers as well say that we have an excellent service and the users are loving it. We have a great user experience and so on and so forth. And in the end, when you ask from the user, is this good? Is this something that you would love to use? Is this something that you would like to invite your friends to use as well? Majority of them say no. So what this boils down to is that good user experience will become, or it is already, a competitive advantage. So you can actually gain revenue and users by maybe steering a bit of that money that you have stored for your ad campaigns to the service development itself. And why are we in this situation is that if we look at this number, I mean, they are spending 20 times the amount of money for advertising the service instead of refining the service, so it would kind of serve the users better. And this is a bit of a problem. For now, it works. It works if you have a language that kind of makes the competitive or the competitors smaller. I mean, in Finland, and I would think it's the same thing in here. If you would make a Finnish service that is only available in Finnish, you won't have the global players around. But if you're kind of offering a service that has no global bounds, you really don't care where you buy the service, then you have to be really careful about making sure that you have that competitive advantage. And one of the main things that is in play here is something called SAG. SAG is a service anticipation gap, meaning the user has from your ads or your marketing kind of a message or wherever, he or she will have some kind of a idea about your service. And if these two don't meet, I mean your advertising and your actual service, you have a problem. You waste your money well, that's about it. You waste your money, you waste the user's time, and it's quite of a one-shot chance. So if you advertise that you have the world's best car rental service and your ads are brilliant, you make a video that will make everybody cry when they watch it, and the service itself, it's actually crap, I'm sure that the user won't come back to you. So then you've spent a lot of money to get one user to come to your service, try it out, and that's it. You don't keep the user in play, and so the kind of a cost of one user coming to your service is really high. So what it boils down to is this: your service doesn't meet or exceed the expectations set by the customer. And this is a very important thing. It's the customer who says, is this good, is this not? I mean, I've been developing services for the past almost 15 years, and it took me 10 plus years to realize the fact that if I'm building a service for our customers, and the end user comes to me and says, this is no good, I won't start the dialogue with, well, I know, I'm a professional with a lot of experience. It really doesn't help. If the user says something, you better believe it. So what can we do about it? I mean, there is a lot of things that you can, or a lot of tools that you can actually use to improve your service, improve the graphical interface or the everything that is around it. And from my point of view, there's a couple of things. There's the actual service design, making sure that the service itself is as good as it can be. It serves the business as well as the user. And one big thing is that the UX or the user experience is there. A lot of people talk about UX and mainly concentrate on the graphical design or the usability of the service. This is much more. I mean, we are talking about things that actually make the user want to use your product, maybe to own your product. It's the, as an example, it can be the red color in a Italian sports car, or the design of nice new MacBook, or it can be the checkout page of your e-commerce site. So if put that way, I think it's quite easy to understand that it's crucial to make sure that the service experience is as good as it can be. So the importance of good UX, and this is something that you really kind of write it down, repeat it to yourself. It's not about do you offer the service, it's about do you offer the best service? Do you offer something within your service that has an edge that the user actually clings on to? Graphical user interface, nice design, it works for a while. I mean, you can have the most beautiful e-commerce site in the world, but if the checkout requires three different pages, maybe registering to the site before you can purchase, I mean, you lose a lot of clientele. So what does UX do? It's a bridge, right? It connects the user to your business and through the actual core of your service or whatever it is. So it takes the user from awareness to entry to engagement, and then hopefully to the action part of it, which actually makes you money. So I always try to keep in mind and remind our customers as well that, I mean, it's nice to make very beautiful services and everybody wants to be the next Facebook or Gmail but the fact is you need to invest your money, have at least a good educated guess how you're going to get your money back, and hopefully in the long run make a bit more. So this is actually kind of tells what's it all about. On the left side there's services for the customer itself. You know, he or she might have a need for a book or something else from your web shop. So make that easy for him. Make sure that he or she finds what he's looking for. You know, tie it to your core services. And then after that, you know, pray and maximize the potential that he will actually put some money to your system. So this is the whole big picture. Obviously, this is not easy. There is a lot of time spent on designing and measuring and analyzing the measurements and improving your service. But I think that the main key here is to understand that you need to concentrate your efforts where it's most usable or where you get the best kind of a response from the business and the customers. Like I said, UX is not one thing. It's not just about the graphical interface. It's not just about the packaging of a day-to-day product. It's not just about some nice design. It's a collection of things. And obviously, depending on where you stand with your product or your service and what it is, you need to pick and choose the things that are maybe your kind of a selling points for your product, or just very, very, very interesting, or that's the kind of a de facto things in your business area where you're working. Obviously, you can choose something and work on that if you see that it might be a kind of a marketing advantage. I mean, Google Glass, for example. Nice product, bit of a niche. For me, it's not about, you know, having that Google Glass on you. For me, it's the thing that is on the bottom. It's the human-computer interaction. That's the Star Trek thing of that product. And I think that's one of the selling points as well. So I'll try to speed up a bit, otherwise I'm running out of time. So the basis of good UX, obviously you need to understand the playground. What's the user's kind of a, who are they? What do they do? I mean, if you're planning on building a mobile service, it's good to know, is your users using iOS devices, Android devices, or whatnot. So concentrate, measure, and take that into the loop. And these are basically the building blocks of any good service. You have the user, you have the business, well-designed service, and the look and feel of it. These hopefully bring value. And yeah. So how does the user experience actually make a difference? So it's the reason for users to try your product, to keep using your product, and hopefully refer it to your friends. I mean, you're marketing people, you know how much value is there in the last sentence. So here's a few quick examples about the case. So you've developed a nice weather app, and you put it out there on the iTunes store. Which one of those applications would you choose? Without knowing anything more, I bet you would do the same as I have done. I've taken the one that is, at this point, a better looking one. So that's the selling point. You're a small business going to cloud, and you're looking for how much does this cost. You have two options. You have the Amazon Web Services calculator that I've been looking for past week and I still don't actually get it. Or then I have this other service that has 3 sliders and it gives me the number. This costs this much. Once again, I think people with that kind of a background would go with UpCloud. Or you're searching for cheap flights. You want to go to Tenerife or whatever. You're doing with your mobile. Which site would you use to actually make the purchase? So there's like solid examples on how we can actually invest in UX and get the revenue out of the other end. So all in all, UX for your business, hopefully, it's something that makes sure that all your other investments to marketing or ads, communication are solid. It will get you the download, the client, the purchase, and make sure that he or she comes back to you. So in short, it gets you more revenue. And by that it transforms the user's need into commitment, meaning he or she once again will come back to you. That's it.